from Provo, Utah, this is the Ultimate Final Fantasy Podcast with your hosts, Joseph DeGolier and Caleb Schweitz. This is Ultima Final Fantasy.
Welcome to another episode of Ultima Final Fantasy, the Ultimate Final Fantasy Podcast. I am Joe.
And I am Caleb.
And today, what are we going to be talking about today, Caleb, for our discussion?
Let's pull up some more of those good old mythic origins of some of the summons in the series.
We haven't done those since August.
Yeah, it's been a while.
So we did the Four Fiends, we did Bahamut, Ifrit. Did we do someone else?
Leviathan.
And Leviathan, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So now today it's going to be, sorry again?
Today we're going to be doing Carbuncle and Ixion, and I'm thinking maybe a third one, but we'll see. I'm not sure which one I want to choose. So.
Way to tease that up right at the beginning. We'll
That's-
find out.
Yeah, that's
okay,
a nice
so
teaser.
For you YouTube people, I know we haven't done behind the scenes, and we're probably not going to do it for a while, because right now, Caleb's place is not really set up for behind the scenes as of yet. Once again, we're still working on equipment. Everything will be in its own time.
Yeah, so you just get the raw episodes.
Yeah, you get the raw episodes, which are better anyway.
It's true.
Here, we're just kind of like sitting around. We're recording in the morning, so we're just kind of getting to work when we get here. Like, we're just going right into it.
Yeah.
So it's a little different, and there's not actually that much to show in the behind the scenes. So
No,
you're
I
not
mean,
really missing out on anything.
Other than my sweet candle behind you, there's really nothing interesting.
There is a penis candle behind me.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
It is pretty darn sweet. So Caleb, where are you in Final Fantasy X right now?
I am just about to fight Sin.
You're way ahead of schedule. But what else are you going to try to do, Caleb?
I'm going to try to do as much of that game as I can. I'm going to go for the gold. Well, the platinum.
The platinum. Caleb is going to try to platinum the game, which, how many games of Blitzball do you have to play?
Over 100.
Over 100 games of Blitzball, and you also have to max out everybody's sphere grid.
Yes. Probably not going to happen.
Disgusting.
It's a lot. A lot
So
of
that's why
stuff.
Caleb is so far ahead. I, however, am following almost to the T the the little sheet that I put out.
Your little schedule.
My little schedule thing, yeah. I'm actually ahead of schedule. I'm like halfway through next week, where I'm supposed to be next week. So I just left home. The Albed Sanctum was destroyed.
So now you're heading to Bavel.
I gotta go save Yuna.
Yes.
Yeah.
The final boss
So
is coming
I'm
up.
way behind you. Evray?
Yeah. He's pretty tough, but you
Dude, you know
can
what?
work it.
Seymour, the first fight with Seymour was super tough for me. The first time I played this game, this time was like easy cheese.
Wait till the second one. Wait, no.
Wait till the second
third
fight.
one. The third one was brutal.
Is that the ice one?
Yeah.
The ice one wasn't bad. The
It
first
was
time I
bad
played
this
this game,
time.
I beat him in one turn.
It was bad this time.
Or not in one turn, but in one try. One turn would be amazing.
Although when I did, I spammed some summons on him, and then I really rocked his face in. So like when I threw some tact together, I was a little better.
The Wendigo guy, the Yeti that you meet after Seymour,
Yeah,
that
he's
guy was
brutal.
harder than Seymour for me.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
actually. Yeah, he was pretty tough. He didn't kill me, but it took forever to kill him. So,
It took me 2 tries.
Yeah.
I had to die to him, and then I looked up the wiki article on him, and I was like, I didn't realize you could steal from the 2 Guado guys and make them stop, throwing high potions on themselves.
I didn't either. That would have been great to know.
Yeah,
That's
so
retarded.
That's what I did, and then it suddenly got really easy because I just
Yeah.
killed those 2 off, and then all you have to do is worry about the 1,200 damage that Wendigo does every
Yeah.
time.
I think I spammed.
Even if you take Berserk off of him, he still is doing massive damage.
I think I hammered him with Shiva's Diamond Dust, and it killed both of the other dudes.
Did you?
I like wasted him.
I tried using Ifrit on him, and he just bulldozed him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was sick. My
Yeah,
summons
they-
are so weak.
Yeah,
And I know there's like a fight where you have to use all your summons too, and I'm kind of like frightened.
it was tough. You
I
saw
know it
me
was tough for
lose.
you, yeah. So yeah, that's where we are in 10 right now. If you're playing along, you should be around where I am. You should actually. Well, the plan that I put out, it'll be Macalania Temple is where you're supposed to be at. By the time this podcast goes out, should be done with Macalania. So you should be fighting that Yeti guy.
Fun stuff.
If you're following the schedule exactly.
Right, which I doubt they are if they're playing along.
Yeah.
They're probably where I'm at.
Yeah, they've
Yeah.
just been like playing Final Fantasy X nonstop.
Not really nonstop. We've been on it for almost a month.
Yeah, and it's a longer game, so you've really gone for that 10.
Yeah, it's
Of course,
not.
I know you wanted to platinum it from the very beginning. So
Yeah, it's not really that long of a game. You just took forever the time before.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about it's not that long.
Last
of a
time
game.
I played the game.
Yeah.
I don't know why it took forever. I wasn't like super leveled up by the time I got to Jed.
Yeah, was he still tough?
Yeah, he was a pain in the ass.
I know. I couldn't beat him on my last time I tried to play through. I had to level up and then I just stopped playing it.
But I'm sure he'll be easy cheese for you.
Well, yeah, because I'm not going to fight him until after I do some of the extra stuff and get some of those weapons.
There you go.
Really beat his face in.
I'm wondering where in the world the Ascalon weapon is, because last time I played the game, I thought it was in the desert, because I thought that's where I picked it up. But apparently it's not in there.
Yeah?
Yeah, so I have no idea where the Ascalon is. Maybe I should look it up. It's like one of Titus's weapons.
Yeah, those, I'm really excited to
It's
break.
not a celestial weapon, but it's a good weapon.
Yeah, I'm really excited to break max damage. I'm pumped for it, in fact. I've done it with the Bahamut's Mega Flare, but that's it. I did like 12,000 damage with that.
Mm-hmm.
But everything else has been 9s. So it's getting close.
Okay. So we do have one review that I found from Canada. Caleb, you want to pull that up?
Yeah.
Real quick? So this is a 4-star review under the title... Ooh, ow. I just hit my mic. Under the title Awesome. And Caleb, you want to read that? Let's see, who's this from?
Yeah, sure, I can read it. It's from
Yeah, you can't read that though, can you?
CMRB3.
Cumber 3?
Yeah, it's a 4-star review. He says, none of my friends have ever been into Final Fantasy. Chumps. So I've never had the chance to just sit down and geek out over the games with somebody. This podcast is as close as I'll probably ever get. If you're a fan of the games, definitely worth a listen.
Thank you very much, Cumber 3, or Cumber 3.
Yeah, thanhanks, man. Sorry
you.
your friends suck.
You know, you can actually get more Final Fantasy conversation by going to our forums, ultimatefinalfantasy.boards.net.
It's true, there's quite a bit of it.
Yeah, there's actually a link on our website, so you can go to ultimatefinalfantasy.com, click on forums, it'll take you there.
Correct.
Yeah, so, oh, okay. We have one piece of news this week.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, let's get to it.
Alrighty.
News.
Alright, so what do you got for news?
Well, there's only one piece of news, and that is Mevius Final Fantasy has a new trailer, and we're going to watch it in a second. Now, there are other Final Fantasy-related pieces of news having to do with Nobuo Uematsu. He's got some concerts going on you guys can check out. Sakaguchi, of course. This will probably be in the Spot the FF segment, but he did this little video that's on YouTube that's pretty funny. It talks about his career of Final Fantasy, but it's got like a little spoof on it. And somehow they got him to do a video on it. And it's pretty good. We'll probably check that out. And someone else is like making Final Fantasy weapons. So they're not really Final Fantasy news. So we're not going to really talk about them, but you guys can certainly look those kind of things up. The only piece of Final Fantasy news that's specifically Final Fantasy is this Mevius Final Fantasy trailer. So I think we're going to watch and comment on it, and I'll put the audio in the background with its epic song here. Let me do it. Are you ready to watch a Mevius Final Fantasy trailer?
Yeah, have you already watched it?
Yeah, I already watched
Oh, you bastard.
it. Sorry. You going to put those headphones on?
Yeah, because I haven't.
Okay.
Alright, go for it.
It's just music.
No.
Yeah, sorry. Okay, so we got the Square Enix logo here. And first look, we We tilt down to a character waking up next to a dead body, it looks like.
Well, very dead body.
A little, yeah.
Bunch.
Shining light on his face. There's a group of characters and a whole bunch of lights and stuff going on. Our white-haired character is looking up at something shiny and white. Then he's walking forward with a giant sword on his back. He's walking forward in a different area towards a crystal.
Ooh, little mog.
Oh, there's a little mog. Yeah. All right, so it looks like we got a few classes here. It looks like one was thief and another one was black mage, and he's probably already in a warrior type.
Warriors
type
pretty much.
situation.
Oh, the crystals and the
Yep.
mog.
Crystals and mog.
Man, the mog is so fat.
He's touching the crystal, it shines light, and now we're watching some battle images here. Which, considering this is a smartphone game, looks pretty darn good, I'd say.
Yeah,
Look at the look of the game; it's really quite polished.
it is. Looks better than Crisis Core by a lot.
Blue stuff here. Something called Break, it looks like. So, and he's fighting like a dragon thingy, and then the Mebius Final Fantasy logo. Coming 2015 spring in Japan on Android and iPhone devices.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, if I got it on my Kindle, I'd probably play it. So I played FF3.
Well, it's not really a Final Fantasy till it comes out on something besides mobile,
Yeah.
according to our show. But you can play it, extracurricularly if you wish.
Can I?
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'll allow you.
That's so kind.
I'm sorry, man. If we added phone games to our list of games we had to play, we would never end.
Well, we don't necessarily have to add all
Not that
phone
we
games.
want to end, but there is like a foreseeable stopping point as it stands now. But with the continual Final Fantasy, and of course we want to continue playing Final Fantasy games as they come out, but important releases. I don't think Square Enix doesn't really give their resources to their mobile department.
No, they don't.
To make a mainline Final Fantasy game. The day that Final Fantasy 20 is only on iPhone will be the day I quit playing Final Fantasy.
You think so?
I'm pretty sure.
We'll see about that. Hopefully it
will
doesn't happen,
see.
so we don't have to see. But
All right, so that really is our only piece of news. There was some new information on Heaven's Word, I think, but couldn't really find out what the difference was between. Oh, actually, the Heaven's Word information will be out tomorrow. That's what they were talking about. So they were saying that there was new Final Fantasy 14 Heaven's Word stuff.
But
News,
they didn't say what.
but it's coming out tomorrow as we're doing this podcast. So the day before this podcast comes out,
Yeah.
there's some new Heaven's Word news for you. 14
Why do they
players
do
out there.
that? Why do they be like, okay, we're going to give you something tomorrow?
Oh, it's like a live broadcast kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, with Yoshi P.
Whatever.
All right, Caleb. Let's get to our main discussion.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so real quick, I wanted to say something before we started our discussion. This plan to do Final Fantasy X the way that I've been doing it, where like it was in little sections, it's like perfect for me. So I know you've been like front loading your stuff, so you're about to win the game, Caleb. At least you could, if you wished. You could just go onward and beat the game. Right. But you're going to do a lot of extra stuff, correct?
Yeah.
I was about to say that I'm working at about 3 to 4 hours a week on Final Fantasy X, and that seems to be about the perfect amount. Because I felt like I was rushing through 7 and 8 and 9. And so this seems like the right pace for me, is to do it this way. So I think this 2-month plan for the games, I think is going to stay.
Yeah.
At least for these longer games, at the very least.
Quote unquote.
Yeah, the other games were like, you could be about 25 to 30 hours each game, right?
Yeah, I got to the end in 31.
Average. And
That's 30.
Yeah, well, I had a 56-hour game before. I don't know how. Anyway, so that'd be like an hour a day, average gameplay time. And that's too much for me, I think.
Yeah.
I think 3 to 4 hours a week is good.
Well, especially with 12, if we're going to be doing a lot of the side quests, because you never did them, really.
Right.
You want to
I have 2 weeks to do side quests in 10, so it's not like I'm not going to do anything.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I think I'll get the jet spheres and the Albed primers, and
Do you want to break
then
max damage?
I'll work on. I'll see what I want to work on when I get done with those.
All right.
Okay,
fair
I'll
enough.
have like 8 hours of side quests. Anyway, I just wanted to say that real quick. It's like perfect for me. So I want to let the listeners know that we're not rushing this one, taking our time with it. At least I am.
Yeah. I'm not really rushing.
And
it,
I
I'm just
feel
going for
like
it.
it's just about the right amount of time. It's actually enough time that I've played Destiny for a couple hours this week.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so I was actually able to play another game. I didn't feel like stressed out that I had to play the Final Fantasy game, even though I did, and I got to where I wanted to go. In fact, past that, but it's a really good amount for me. I can't bulldoze through games without feeling super stressed out.
Yeah.
Yeah. You ever played a video game all day and then you're like, what did I do with my life?
Sometimes.
Yeah. All right, Caleb, you gonna teach me about some stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so first one I want to do here is Ixion. Of course, Ixion is the horse lightning summon in Final Fantasy X.
It's called an aeon in 10, Caleb.
Yeah.
Don't you know?
Whatever. So Ixion,
Aeon, Eidolon, summon.
I know, they're
All summons, whatever.
pretty much. It was originally summoned.
GF.
Yeah.
Girlfriends.
Yeah, that's what I always joked about that when I was playing it the first time. It's like, man, they talk about their girlfriends
Do you
a lot.
have a girlfriend?
Dude, I'm a chick, and I'm straight. So basically, Ixion is Greek mythological character who upset the gods by killing his father-in-law and then sleeping with Hera, which is a big deal.
Nice. Is that like one of Zeus's wives or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's Zeus's wife. He actually mated with a simulacrum. What is that? How did you pronounce it?
Simulacrum?
Simulacrum, yeah. Really
It's like a simulation.
ridiculous word. Yeah, it's like a hologram of Hera that Zeus created out of mist, apparently, to find out if he lusted after his wife. So apparently he found out and basically condemned him to be stuck to a flaming, spinning wheel in hell for all eternity.
That has nothing to do with a lightning horse.
No, but he is also known as the father of the centaurs, which is probably why.
Horse. Yeah, half horse.
Half horse. But in 10, he is a full
Why didn't they
horse.
just make him a half, like a centaur?
I don't know. I really don't know.
With like Zeus bolts.
They did the same thing with Shiva, where like Shiva looks nothing like
Shiva, right.
Yeah, not at all. Like, not even close.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I didn't even know about Ixion, the Greek mythological figure.
Yeah, me neither until I looked it up today. I don't know. Greek stuff is usually pretty cool, though.
Yeah.
They that Zeus really likes to get it on, and then gets super jealous when anybody else gets it on. So
Yeah, nice. All right, what else we got?
I think the next one I want to do. Let's go Carbuncle.
Carbuncle? So
Yeah.
what are the origins of Carbuncle? I have no idea.
So basically, Carbuncle, it means a dark red gem. It's like a round garnet kind of gem. And it's actually Arthurian legend. A knight was on a quest to retrieve 3 things, and one of them was a carbuncle, and he's supposed to bring it to a princess. And it's different from a ruby. So if a 5 and 6 is ruby light, apparently, it's technically wrong. according to this.
Final Fantasy Compendium, I'm
Yeah,
guessing,
they've got
is
an
what you're on.
article
Yeah.
it, yeah.
It's got a whole collection of mythological origin stuff. On
It's
that
true.
site.
It's pretty good, man. They're
Yeah, he doesn't update that site anymore. It makes me sad. It's like my favorite pre-Final Fantasy wiki Final Fantasy site.
right.
Yeah.
So basically, there's also some Spanish and Portuguese lore. A carbuncle was like a small lizard creature with a gemstone in its forehead that lived in
so it's
South
kind of
America.
like similar to just being the gem, huh?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Which honestly makes sense based on his summon in 8, especially with the giant
that's
gem
what
in
I'm
his
thinking
head.
of is that carbuncle. Although I think the same design was used in like 6, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually didn't even get get him in 8. I missed it.
Oh, you didn't draw him from
No.
Idea? No, it wasn't Idea.
It was the two
yeah, you draw him
lion
from,
dudes or dogs or whatever the hell they were.
Yeah, you draw him from something else.
So basically, the light that emanates from the gem is supposed to be so strong that it can blind and stunt humans.
Well, he doesn't really do that as a summon.
No, he does reflect though, and I think it is a beam kind of thing. I guess it's supposed to
Yeah.
be represented by that.
That's kind of cool. They use some of that in Final Fantasy VIII.
Yeah, they do. He's always got kind of a reflect move, so that kind of makes sense, I guess.
Well, that's what you got to use him for, is those buffs.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes it's counterintuitive though. Like,
well, it's Carbuncle and Golem will save your life in Final Fantasy V.
yeah, that's true. Golem is awesome.
Yeah.
His little rock hand comes up, blocks. Could talk about him too.
Could you?
Yeah, there's stuff on him. But the third one that I want to do is one that doesn't really appear quite so much yet. It's Fenrir.
Fenrir.
Yeah.
So what games does Fenrir come into play?
I know he's in 12. He's the fire guy in 12.
Okay.
And I
feel like he was in one of the earlier ones, like 4 or something.
he might have been on it. This is really bad that we don't remember. But I don't know. The summons, in our defense, the summons are pretty much useless up to 10. Like they're cool looking, and
you can spam them in 8 if you wish.
Yeah,
'cause
but
do
they're
damage, but
they're not really that damaging though. Not once you break the game, which is pretty fast.
If you're playing it wrong, the GFs save your life.
That's true. That's true. So Fenrir is
Bahamut Zero is pretty useful in 7.
yeah, he does a lot of
The
damage.
Bahamuts usually are pretty useful.
Well, that and Knights of the Round, obviously.
And in 5, if you level up your summoner, that's when the summons start doing max damage.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, I never really used Summoner at all.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
I'm okay.
I know.
I'm okay. I know what's going to happen.
I think there was a Fenrir before.
Man,
I really think so.
all right.
I think
Fine.
there was one in like 5
Probably
or
get a
6 or
correction.
4. Yeah, definitely gonna get a correction. Tell us which one Fenrir showed up in first.
Yeah, so basically, he comes from Nordic mythology, and
Okay.
the dwarves apparently gave the gods a rope to chain him up because he's a crazy bastard, and he's the child of Loki, and
Really?
he's actually supposed to be unchained at Ragnarok to do battle with the gods, and he actually eats Odin. So he kills God, essentially.
We're gonna see that in Thor 3. You think?
Norse, maybe. I don't know. I feel like Thor 3
Father?
is probably not going to have that.
No, probably not.
I don't think they're going to go into
Unless Anthony Hopkins dies.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to go into the Ragnarok for the superhero movies. They
No,
would lose money. I
That's
think.
too bad.
It would be awesome. It would be really awesome, but no. So yeah, he's
He
pretty.
eats Odin, really.
Yeah.
From what I can remember, he was a pretty weak summon, so that's surprising.
Yeah, he's not that great. The summons in 12 are useless too.
Summons in 12 are useless. Holy
Really
shit.
useless. It's cool that you can run around and fight with them, but doesn't matter.
I think 10 has it right.
yeah, the right
As far
balance.
as summons go, yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you there too. I mean,
It's not just a long animation for a lot of damage, just for a split second.
and the fun thing with 10
you
also,
fight with them, but also they help protect your characters.
yeah, they're not just the meat shield like they are in 8.
Yeah.
They actually take damage. Mm-hmm. And one of the other cool things that I like about 10 is just you can customize them. You can give them certain abilities. You can shield and boost. So if you're going to survive a pretty hefty attack, you can boost your damage to your summon so you reach their limit break faster. So I've been able to do, I think, 2 or 3 limit breaks with the same summon in one fight
Nice.
because of that stuff. So
Nice. Yeah, I like
So-
it. I like it when the other guy misses, and then you're just like,
yeah, you get one more chance. So out of those 3, which summon do you normally prefer?
Carbuncle has been the most useful historically.
Yeah.
I mean, considering Final Fantasy 5 and 8, Carbuncle, his buffs are really useful, especially in 5.
Yeah, in 5 it was really important.
Yeah, like a Carbuncle Golem team would be the best, of course, if you want to make a Final Fantasy really easy.
Yeah.
Of
course, Golem's only really in 5, isn't he?
As far as I know, he's only in 5.
And we barely found the guy. Like I remember him showing up and being like, "Help!"
Yeah,
It was some weird
that's right. You
thing.
had to get him on the mountain, and
And I just like kept retrying until
you
I
had to like. What did you have to do?
you had to kill the monsters in that area and not attack him.
And not attack him. Yeah, that's
So I had to keep healing him because the other monsters were attacking him, and I kept him alive, and then he joined my team.
nice.
It was pretty cool, yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, out of those, I'd probably say Carbuncle also. I mean,
Carbuncle.
Ixion is really helping me in 10. 'cause
Ixion is nice in 10.
I'm able to
One
do
of the
max
stronger,
damage.
one of the stronger summons,
Yeah, he's pretty beefy in that game. So
and he's awesome. The horse guy,
yeah, I kind of like his basic attack, even where he like slashes like his with his
It's like-
sword.
his sword head thing.
Yeah.
He does he bangs his head against someone, and they just take a lot of damage.
Yeah, but I mean, historically, I would also agree Carbuncle
Yeah.
because he's in more games
Yeah.
than the other
It's
two.
funny. I think they could have done a centaur though, just fine. I wonder why they just went horse with a weird thing on his head
I don't
for
know.
Ixion.
I really don't know. That's
That's so odd. I wonder what the decision making process here. Unless they like make the summons and then they choose a name for them.
just semi
They're
based
like,
on what they're.
let's look for mythological horse figures, and then they found the centaur dude.
They might.
I
That'd
don't
be
know.
interesting to find out.
Yeah, it would be interesting to like see how they come up with designs for certain summons. I know they have to like continually bring back Shiva and Ifrit
Mhm.
as like ice and fire, and then Alexander and stuff like that. You know, they have ones that show up in almost every Final Fantasy, and so they have to kind of keep to that. But I wonder what the original decision making process was upon their design, and whether or not the design came first or the name came first with the mythological roots.
Yeah, like with Shiva, I would imagine probably the design came first because it has nothing to do with the actual design.
I have no idea. Certainly, the Four Fiends are a lot closer to what their the original mythological stuff was.
Yeah, with those they stuck to it.
Yeah, so I think the mythology probably came first.
And with Ifrit too, I would say his is pretty close. I mean, he's more of a badass in the Final Fantasies than he is in, you know, the stories about him because there's a ton of them. and it's not-
Islamic mythology or whatever it was.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's kind of cool, but I don't know. I do like. Speaking of summons, like we were talking about with 10, the balance with 10 is really good. I know this isn't the 10 review episode, but it's talking about summons.
Yeah,
It's-
we're right in the middle of 10 while you're at the end, but
Yeah, it's a really fun aspect, and it's kind of refreshing to actually be able to use them to do something. Like, have you had a fight yet where you've spammed the summon ults and won? Because it was brutal. Without
there was one fight where they couldn't reach the summon, so I just kept using the summon on them. There's like a few random enemies where like they do shitloads of damage to your characters, but like they can't reach the summon.
it. Oh, nice.
They can't reach. Who's the guy who flies?
Valifor?
Valifor, yeah, that's the guy. You should do one on Valifor. I'd like to know the.
All right, we should
etymology of
do
that.
we should do more of these. I mean, the thing
should.
is they get with 10 especially, like Valifor and Ixion and I mean Yojimbo obviously is based on Yojimbo, but there's a lot of them in this game that aren't really in the other games. Like it's always been Ramu up to this point, you know, for the lightning and
Yeah, that is. They didn't use Ramu. I didn't even think about that.
yeah, I
because
thought that
we've
was
seen Ramu like every time.
I thought that was weird the first time I played 10. I was like, what happened to the Ramu guy from like say 7 and 8?
10 was the second one I beat. It was the third one I played, so I didn't really think about it.
I think it was the second one I beat too. I think I beat 7 and then I beat 10 the same day.
Yeah.
So
Well,
it was
there
at the
were-
very end.
Quetzalcoatl? Is that who I'm thinking of?
In 8?
Yeah, in 8.
Yeah.
He's lightning in that one.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so it's not Ramu in that one either.
He's
So I didn't even think about
Thunder God. Yeah, that's true. We didn't even mention that. Well, eight's 8, but
8 is 8, yeah.
so yeah, we'll definitely have to do more of these origins. I think they're kind of
Certainly.
interesting, and it's kind of cool what they do with it, what they stick to, and it'd be really interesting to find out what the decision-making process is on, okay, what are we going to call this guy?
Yeah.
Because some of it's really loose. Like, really loose.
Yeah. But, reminds me of someone.
Yeah?
I'm not going to say who.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Thank you for your discretion.
All right, let's go on to our next segment, shall we?
Yeah, let's do it.
Hey, 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 did you see it? Did you see that Final Fantasy? Hey, hey, did you see it? Did you spot that FF in your songs and games and movies? Spot that Final Fantasy.
Okay, so this Spot the FF comes from Shinru, of course, from our forums. This is Hironobu Sakaguchi in this video here. Who is this from? Mega64?
Yeah.
It's like a YouTube channel, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And they do a whole bunch of little funny videos with, a bunch of video game stuff. This is Sakaguchi's Final Fantasy, in which I think he wants to be in hip hop, right? I watched this video yesterday and we're about to watch it again. He wants to be like a hip hop artist, and he's thought he's made his last game, and they ask him to do one more game. And it's called Final Fantasy, and then of course it's a hit, and they keep coming back and asking him to do another Final Fantasy, and it's pretty funny.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It goes over most of his career in Square Enix, and it's a pretty great video. So let's give it a listen.
I finally finished my greatest game ever, Rad Racer. One more game left on my contract, and then I'm free to pursue my real dreams, hip-hop. Yes, it's time for my final game, my final fantasy.
Great job, Sakaguchi! Final Fantasy was such a hit, we're gonna need another one.
Oh, and don't forget, there is a clause in your contract that says if the game is a hit, you owe us one more. Get to work!
Final Fantasy 2? That doesn't even make sense! Okay. One more game.
Sakaguchi, Final Fantasy 2 was better than Final Fantasy 1! I don't know how you did it!
I think we're gonna need a trilogy.
That's it! I can't come up with any more stuff. I'm gonna cram all the same ideas into a new game. I'm gonna burn them out. Yes, then I'll be free to go.
Oh my god, Sakaguchi! The wizards, the magic, these games are amazing!
We should make one more.
Okay, you like wizards? You like magic? Well, let's flip the script a little bit. Do you like riding on the backs of whales? Having a trip to the moon? Yeah, let's see him get a load of this.
Oh, Final Fantasy 4, it made me think, it made me cry. Oh, and the lunar whale, nice touch.
We're gonna need another one.
Number 5, get to work.
The main character's name is Butts.
Oh my god, this is so good! Oh my god, make 6!
Okay, Final Fantasy 6. You know what? Magic is dead. Robots everywhere. Oh, in the world? Yeah, it's run by a cloud. And you know what? He destroys it. No way Final Fantasy fans will like this.
Hey, that was your best one, so, 7.
Okay. The world is dead. Humanity lives under a pizza in the sky. No magic. No, they got rocks. And everyone's mean. Except for this one nice. We'll make her a girl. And we'll murder the girl. We'll just murder the girl.
Worthy.
We're not worthy. We're so good.
We don't even want another Final Fantasy game. We should make a movie. F*** it.
Hey, I'm here to tell
somebody named Sakaguchi that they're movie bombed and they're fired? Yeah, so if that's you, get the fuck out. Yeah, thanks.
Yes! 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 Sakaguchi!
Well, that was pretty good.
It's a really entertaining video. I am very impressed that they were able to get Sakaguchi to do that.
Yeah, I don't know. It kind of feels like that's how he felt. At the same time, though, like basically with what he's stated after the fact, after working there, like it kind of seems like that's might have been semi-accurate, maybe not 100%.
It's not really accurate.
I know.
We've seen other quotes where he's like, Final Fantasy IX is his favorite Final Fantasy and stuff like that. So
yeah,
obviously it's not true, and obviously he never became a hip hop artist.
Not yet.
But it is a pretty funny video to explore. I love how he's just smashing the keys on the Final Fantasy, The Spirits Within.
Yeah.
I know you guys just heard the audio, but please go watch the video, because the video really adds to it. I mean, it's Sakaguchi at his desk, apparently coding up these Final Fantasies,
Yeah.
which is, it's hilarious, I think. And I want to thank Shinru for posting that, because yesterday I just was like it blew my mind, like what I just saw.
That they got him to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of surprising.
I mean, what did you think?
I thought it was entertaining.
Yeah.
I mean, the Spirits Within part was pretty funny, where he's just mashing the keys. And then he gets canned, and he's super pumped.
Well, he kind of revitalized his career when he left. I mean, he made, what was it, Blue Dragon, Lost Odyssey, and now he's got Last Story, I think was his most recent non-mobile
I think so.
one.
Yeah.
He's got a mobile game out there.
Yeah, they're all, for the most part, if I remember
They've
right,
all been
they're
successful.
Yeah, they've done well, and they're well reviewed. So
Yeah. So
not that the Final Fantasies aren't by any means, but
yeah, all the Final Fantasies have been well reviewed except for 14's original release.
yeah,
So yeah, way to go, Square.
yeah. Except for like the spinoffs, maybe 10-2 is like,
No, 10-2 had good reviews too.
it's still good,
Yeah.
not really good, not like the 10-way tie at 92 or 94.
Oh, Metacritic's 10-way
Yeah.
time? Yeah. I'm so surprised they got Sakaguchi to do that. Maybe Sakaguchi will do an interview with us. I mean,
Yeah, if he's gonna do that, why not? Right?
why not? Yeah, exactly.
I see where you're coming from.
All right, Caleb.
When you start gonna boss you just a bit, you know you need your best. Because looking for items that you see. You know we'll help you out with some tactics you might need.
All right, so this week's tactic comes from Schnitzel Time,
Schnitzel time.
a black mage on the forum.
Okay. What's
Wow,
our
he
tactic?
posted this in December. Geez, on
Oh,
Christmas.
really?
Yeah.
I think I just left it on there because, it's Final Fantasy X, so wait until
Yeah.
we get to that.
Well, this is actually right where you're at, basically. So after your party escapes from the Via Purifico and Bavel, they're left on the high bridge while Kamari is supposed to hold off Seymour to give them time to escape. Instead of going directly to
Okay.
fight Seymour, this is the second time you fight him, you can actually train on the high bridge instead. The majority of what you fight is higher level Machina. They can be a little challenging at first.
Yeah,
They're pretty
I've
tough,
leveled up
actually.
here before. I remember this.
Yeah, but they are conveniently weak to water, apparently, which is obviously Brotherhood's element. So you can easily overkill them with Titus.
Well, are they still the Machina where you can steal with Riku?
No,
Oh, well,
they're
that
past
sucks
that.
then.
And get around 7k in experience per fight. Doesn't remember the exact number because it can vary. It should be at least one sphere level up per fight, though, which is good.
Yeah.
Titus using Slayer in Overdrive. I mean, at that point, you can learn Energy Rain. Yeah. You can learn the Energy Rain or even Blitz Ace quickly, which I don't know if I've ever gotten Blitz Ace. It sounds kind of familiar, but I do not remember what it looks like, so we'll see if I get it. Additionally, these Machina have a good chance of dropping Mega Phoenix, which is very useful.
Did you get those? Because I know you had to be there for a little while.
I didn't have to be there. I was talking about the third fight, the one on Gagazet.
Yeah.
That gave me trouble. This is the second one.
Okay.
I killed him the first try.
All right.
This time. And I didn't like the area. It was bullshit. But
Oh, the Machina?
yeah, they're
Yeah, I remember.
tough.
Yeah, I remember. No, I liked leveling up in that area the
Yeah.
first time I played the game. Yeah.
Well, he's saying after
I know
just
it's difficult, but you do get a lot of experience there.
It's true, you do. But I didn't really use the water on him. I didn't notice that for some reason, so
I always use lightning on those kind of guys.
yeah, it makes sense. So he says after just a couple hours of training here, he had an armor customized with Auto Phoenix, and his characters were more than strong enough to beat Seymour Flux later on in Gagazet. Arguably the hardest fight in the game. He's a pain to me.
Arguably.
Many people aren't a fan of grinding, but this is one of those times where he actually enjoys it because you can see results extremely fast,
Yeah.
especially with the damage Titus does to the Machina. His Titus was doing about 5,500 per hit at that point, so only one hit to kill any of them.
How much was yours doing at that point? Your Titus?
Not that much.
Not that much, yeah.
No, not even close.
Wow.
You don't run into experience this high until you get the airship post Unalesca, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking he was talking about the area in between Evray and Bavel, and I was like, I don't remember if it was endless, but I was like, that seems like a horrid tactic because you don't have a save point anywhere. But this one is actually a good area.
Okay, yeah.
And I did have to level up here the last time I played 10.
They do boot you out of the battles every once in a while.
I hate that. Stupid. And they leave the Gimp character there.
Yeah, the Machina area, and there's that long hallway, and then there's Seymour.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is a very good place to level up. The first time I played this game, that's where I leveled up probably the most.
Yeah.
Is right there, yeah. And I'll probably do it again in this round.
Yeah.
Because I know that Seymour is like eons above whatever boss was before it, so.
Yeah, he was tough. But I didn't lose to him this time.
No, you didn't.
No, but he killed Titus. He turned him to stone, and then his little pincer thing shattered him.
That sucks.
So it was just two on one.
That sucks.
But I hit him with
no
bio.
experience for Titus?
No, none.
That sucks.
Yeah. It really
and
does.
you need to fill out that entire sphere grid.
I know. I could have got 2 more spheres right there. Forever gone.
Well, thank you for the tactic, Snitchel Time. I am sure I'll use it. I think most of us do, though. Because, you're going up to that Seymour fight. It's a difficult fight. You probably don't win it the first time, unlike you, Schweiss.
Yeah,
if
normally
you're just
I don't.
playing it casually like I play. I'm a cash. Is that what they call them at the Final Fantasy convention?
Yeah, they call them cash.
Cashes. Apparently I'm a cash.
Piece of shit.
Anyway. Yeah, I'm just a cash because when I'm trying to find shit, I hate random battles. Hate it.
Yeah, it's really frustrating.
Trying to get to a fucking switch.
Yeah, and 6.
And it's like dun, 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 dun. Well, yeah. I realize it's the wrong battle music for 6, but yeah.
Yeah, it's I feel your pain. The random battles sometimes it's
random battles
oh,
during
God.
a puzzle make me want to kill someone, and random battles when I'm looking for treasure also makes me want to kill someone. So mostly I just want to get from place to place.
Yeah, or when you're trying to get to the boss and you're like, God, I don't want these guys. He's
Right.
already brutal enough without these fuckers before him.
You hit a pre-boss, like a really tough random enemy, or not a random enemy, but a scripted enemy, and then you want to go back to the save point, and of course you hit a random battle.
Yeah.
Right before the save point.
It's like the one giant behemoth guy in the area, and you're like, no.
Every fucking time. It's okay. 11's next. No random battles.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Same with 12. 13 is hybrid, but yeah. Yeah. We're
times ahead.
about to get away from the random battles for a few games.
It's gonna be weird.
After 10.
been
Yeah,
so
it's going to be
long.
weird. All right. Well, Caleb, I'm going to say something real quick to our listeners out there. We have been getting ideas for future episodes, and they've been great. We, of course, are looking for more, though. I mean, this is a weekly show, so we got quite a bit of content we got to put out. We do have these Final Fantasy VII On the Way to a Smile episodes that Pixel, one of our forum members, and one of the people who used to work for livestream.com, which is Final Fantasy VII fan site. He's allowing us to use clips of their audiobooks. I don't think we're going to use clips too much, but that might be a future discussion episodes, is those On the Way to a Smile stories, which have been translated into English via livestream.net.
Right.
So that's one thing. But if you guys have any ideas for segments, repeatable segments like tactics or Spot the FF or the question segment, any kind of repeatable segment, news is another repeatable segment that we can do. That we do.
Yeah.
We do news every time.
When there's news.
If you have any ideas for repeatable segments, please let us know what they are. And,
We'll consider.
We'll definitely consider. I feel like the show needs to keep expanding, keep moving around, and I think we need to explore a little bit more than what we have right now.
Yeah, we don't want to settle.
Because it used to just be news and discussion,
right?
And we've slowly added a little bit more at a time. So I think, if you guys have ideas for new segments, that's something that we're looking for, certainly. And speaking of segments, let's get to our favorite one.
Ooh, the questions.
Questions for us. We would like to hear from you. You to our forums. Or contact us on Twitter. Get on and ask your questions. We'll answer them within a week. This is the question segment. Ask and you will receive.
All right, so our first question is from Void, who's level 99 on the forums.
Nice.
I've been thinking about getting a tattoo for a long time. Probably eventually going to end up with a green mushroom from Mario and something from Final Fantasy. So 2 tattoos? Or mushroom and Mario and
maybe as
Fantasy?
one.
As one? All right. So my problem in thinking about the Final Fantasy tattoo is that there's no single iconic imagery for the series. Since it reinvents itself with each new game, there is no one central image or style that carries all the way through. The most consistent imagery I can think of are crystals and chocobos. But I don't know of anything else that truly sums up the series as a whole. On to my question, what is the best piece of imagery for the Final Fantasy series as a whole? Yes, I'm looking for tattoo ideas. I think one of our other listeners has tattoos, right? Oh, yeah, there it is. So, Oxbellows, who's a newer forum member, has a tattoo on his leg of a black mage.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet. And I think Branny, was it Brandon who said that he had a tattoo of the Final Fantasy IX logo?
I think so.
Okay. So there's a couple ideas for you, Void. Mogs or Moogles, chocobos and crystals, I'd say.
Yeah.
Probably the crystal is the most
That'd be the most iconic,
central
for sure.
Final Fantasy piece of imagery.
I think it'd be sweet to have the Ject sign, too. That's pretty sweet looking.
That is pretty sweet, yeah. If you want to use up your whole chest for that.
Yeah. It would hurt like crazy. But,
there's that. I think the Final Fantasy VII's logo, but you'd have to get an artist that would really know how to do that.
yeah.
Like the meteor crashing down kind of thing. Of course, I know. What did Void put as his favorite game on his thing? Was it 9?
I think it's 9, yeah.
Yeah, 9. So, yeah, do what Brandy did. Final Fantasy IX's logo.
Yeah, do the crystal.
Yeah, do the crystal. Crystal is definitely the most iconic.
Yeah, or you could do a black mage like Oxbellows.
Yeah.
Just make it look more like Vivi.
Any
less
of
8-bit.
the starting guys from the first Final Fantasy. Pretty iconic now.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah,
I don't know. I would probably say crystal in his case, though.
definitely.
Would be a
crystal.
really good one.
Of course, you got one mushroom and one crystal, just like one on each shoulder. Just
Yeah, that's an idea.
I know a green mushroom will probably have the green mushroom. That's for sure.
Well, yeah, I would imagine.
I don't know. Is there really any other imagery that's from game to game besides the Moogle, Chocobo, and the crystal? Crystal's in like every single one though,
Yeah.
except for 8.
Yeah, that's true. No, 7 doesn't really have
No, it doesn't. Either.
crystals either.
Okay, so that's 2 of them.
One of the biggest.
2 of the big ones.
Yeah, 2 of the biggest, like 4.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Everything else kind of has some crystal imagery.
Yeah, I'd still probably go with a crystal of
Yeah.
sorts. I mean, I don't know, it is kind of like a broken record sometimes with these games where it's like always the crystal stuff, but it's still cool. So
Well, it's iconic now.
Yeah, and
like
it
every
is.
single one, especially
Yeah.
the first 5 games.
Right.
Definitely.
So yeah, that's what I would go for if I were him.
Yeah, especially if your favorite game is 9.
Yeah, at
Get
that
back on
point,
that
it's-
crystal stuff.
Yeah.
All right, what's our next question?
Next one looks like it's gonna be Red Mage. This one's posted by Batman, an Ultima weapon on the forums.
Okay.
He asks, will there ever be such a thing as a red mage in a future FF game? Or is this an antiquated job class from past FF games? It seems that in recent FF games, your white/black mages could learn each other's abilities, but none have been true red mages due to their lack of attack power, although some FF games allow you to level up different attributes like FF10. There hasn't been a red mage in a mainline FF game in quite some time. This job class was a staple in early FF games and have slowly faded away.
Huh.
Do you think they're going to bring it back?
Bring back the Red Mage?
Yeah.
Red Mage was the most useful in 1.
Yeah.
I think, anyway. What was the last Red Mage? You can get a Red Mage in Final Fantasy 11.
Yeah, you can do it on the online.
You can do
ones.
whatever the hell you want in 12. 13 has roles, but they're not really that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's not really a class like
14? Can you not get a Red Mage in 14?
that. I feel like you can.
I feel like you can also, but maybe not. Maybe it is just black and white mage.
I don't know.
I don't know. Let me double check. I'm gonna double check because I know I have a white mage in 14, but I'm gonna see if there is a red
And in
mage.
7, you can kind of red mage it up. I mean, you can have magic, but the problem is it usually diminishes your attack damage.
I know 14's kind of a send back to the other games, though,
Yeah.
in its own way. At least the newer 14.
Right.
Not that the older. I have no knowledge of the older one.
It has been a while, though, in a mainline outside of the onlines.
Well, 11 would be the last one, if anything. Let's see. If Red Mage were in... Oh, no, it doesn't look like it.
There's no red mage in 14?
There's no Red Mage in 14.
Wow. I just assumed it was going to be there.
It's not confirmed, but there is talk about Red Mage. So there's
Okay.
rumors for Red Mage showing up in 14.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, it doesn't look like 15 is going to be the sort of class system that we're used to from the older Final Fantasy games either. 15, it looks like you control one character. Am I correct?
Yeah, that's what we're saying.
And then like the others are kind of in a team. So
Yeah.
it's going to be a lot more like 13 in that way, or like the Kingdom Hearts games. Probably really close to the Kingdom Hearts games.
Yeah, I don't
So
think...
you're probably not going to have Red Mage in that one.
Really doubt it. Maybe a blue mage of some sort, but definitely I don't see anybody in the lineup we've seen being a red mage at all.
Right, but you know, if you're just having one character, he can probably both cast white and black magic.
Yeah, but he's got to be low level magics and decent attack. It's like, it's almost... I almost don't need it anymore, though, at the same time, because in 10, I like how everyone has their specific path, and then you can just do whatever you want eventually. So everyone doesn't necessarily become a red mage. They all just become freelancers, or you're job switching based on what kind of attack you want to do.
So yeah, the last time we've seen a red mage in the series, in the main series anyway, was Final Fantasy 11. So that's interesting. It has been a while.
Yeah, it's true.
It has been a while.
I liked him, though.
I do like the red mage. Late game is when the red mage is like...
Yeah, they fall off compared to the
They fall
warrior
off,
and
yeah.
the black mage.
They're kind of just really solid guys to have to keep your party alive and doing a good amount of damage.
Yeah, I think that's probably why they have done away with them a little bit. It's because of the late game fall off, and you can get kind of screwed over because of that. Like in 1.
I don't know, maybe when they made 14, they looked at 11's stats, and maybe people just didn't choose red mages, and so they didn't put red mage into the 14 game.
Could be.
Yeah, but in the future, I mean, you might have some hope with 16. It could be a job-based system. Who knows? Hiroyuki Ito making it.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
So who knows? Who knows? I mean, would you like to see it come back?
I think it'd be kind of cool.
Would you like to see the job system come back into Final Fantasy? I mean, not just Bravely Default.
Yeah. I kind of like it. I mean, with 12, in a way, it's kind of there, but at the same time, it's everyone
You can
do
do
everything.
everything in 12.
So it's not really necessarily a job class. It's kind of that same feel, though. Like, I can make everyone be warrior. I can make, this person be a marksman, this person be a caster. So there is customization, but it's not quite the same feel. So I think it would be kind of nice to have a new one and see kind of what kind of battle system they can come up with to assimilate the job class into a faster paced kind of battle. That'd be pretty interesting.
All right. So we doing that one next?
Yeah.
Break damage limit? Okay. All right. So this is from Baydrum from our forum, who's a samurai with Guild Toss. Do you remember when seeing 9999 on a hit was so gratifying? You knew that no matter what, you could inflict max damage. Then for me, Final Fantasy X came around. When I first broke the damage limit with Auron, I believe, I was so pumped. As I age, I reflect on that concept with mixed feelings. Is this just an example of power creep, in quotes, in which game developers just add zeros to the end of HP of enemies and accordingly to their damage a character can inflict? Was there anything wrong with 9999 and enemies with smaller health bars? That's not max damage in Final Fantasy 1.
There's also, I think there's another Final Fantasy. I think 3 is also another one where it says 9999, but you can actually do more. Yeah. Shinru does state it later. Says he likes an FF3DS for the reason because limit is 9999, but that's just what they can show on the screen because they didn't add the next
digit area.
The next digit for coding purposes.
Okay.
And then you can actually do like 20k.
Huh.
So
I didn't know that.
Yeah, 9999 is super satisfying, although it is going to be awesome to break it. So that's how I view it. I view it as it's great when you get there, but it's even better when you pass it.
I think I broke it with Titus. Titus got onto the Auron side of the sphere grid.
You were actually able to break it without the ultimate weapons?
Yeah.
I've never been able to.
You just got to have Titus on the Auron side and use it like a limit break.
I guess a limit break would be.
Yeah, it wasn't like a normal attack. He was doing like 9,000 though.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gets pretty sick.
That's that 56-hour playthrough that I went through.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, it's shorter than that, but I was like, no, and now Caleb proved me wrong.
Yeah. Even more so this time.
Now, he was talking about power creep, and we can see power creep happening with, I wouldn't call it a creep. I'd call it 10 broke the damage limit. 11 and 12 kind of went down, at least with 12. Maybe I can't really talk about 11 because I didn't get that far into it.
Well, the only time I can remember breaking the max damage in 12 was when I used the Technic.
So you can?
I feel like you can when they do their limit breaks, whatever those are called. God, I can't remember what they are right now.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about though.
When you do those, if you chain enough of them together, you can do more than max damage. I am 100% sure of that.
Okay.
So yeah, I see what you're saying though. After 10,
I don't think it's much of a creep though. I think it's more like, 1 had a lower damage limit. I think it was just like 1,000, wasn't it, or something like that?
Yeah, something.
Everything was lower.
It was lower,
in
yeah.
1, and like you couldn't go over 50, level 50 for 1.
Yeah, it was like halved.
Right. So that was kind of different. I think it's 2 and onwards that it's the 9999 thing.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure if 2 has that, but I think it might.
I feel like it was 2 where it began.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think it's that big of a deal.
So it's really 2 to 9 that has that.
Yeah.
9999 as the damage limit. And of course, it's like the iconic amount of damage that we all want to get to.
Yeah. So, I mean, it is always satisfying to be able to do that, but it's... I don't know, it's even better to do 12k.
Because if you can break it in 12, which I didn't know you could, you can break it in 10, and then in 13, they just, I guess, power creeped the numbers.
Yeah, they're sick.
There are some disgusting numbers in Final Fantasy 13.
Yeah, it almost doesn't even matter.
I have no idea what the actual max would be in 13, because in 13, numbers are flying all around the screen. Who knows? I know some guys have probably like 2 million health, and you just get them down in like 20 seconds or something like that in Final Fantasy 13.
Yeah, once you stagger them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it doesn't really bug me. It is kind of one of those things that, Final Fantasy does over and over again. You just kind of get used to it as like
Yeah,
a Final Fantasy staple is to have the max damage be 10,000.
Yeah, it's iconic for sure.
Right.
And breaking it in 13, it does feel like that. It feels like it's why even have this many numbers on the screen? It's just pointless. Like,
Yeah.
It has no value.
They
really.
could shrink all the numbers down and make 9999 the max, and it'd be the same game.
Yeah, and I think that's where he's like, yeah, it feels like kind of cheated because they did that, but I don't know.
It's it's arbitrary, really.
It is.
There's
as long as you're killing the thing.
The enemies are going to have a certain amount of health, and you're going to be able to do a certain amount of damage.
It doesn't matter what that is. If it's 1 to 10, 1 to
a
million.
If 10 is the max damage, you're just doing 1 at a time.
Yeah.
Is it Tactics that has the weird small numbers?
Yeah. I think I was able to do like an attack for maybe 100 one time.
Yeah.
Like the most I ever got to.
So Tactics did the opposite. It shrunk it down.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
what I thought.
And it's not a bad system. I mean, it still scales. You get more damage and more health, but it's not like a fuckload at a time, You're not like, oh, plus 500 HP. It's out of nowhere, So I don't know. It is arbitrary, like you said. It doesn't really matter. But I do see where the iconic 9999 comes from, and it is what you strive for. Until, of course, there's better. Thanks, man. That was a good question. All right. Let's see what else we got here. Job systems or character freedom?
Yeah. Let's do that one.
All right. So we got another question here from Light Sage. Also a level 99 on the forums here.
Nice.
She asks, which do you guys prefer? A Final Fantasy that has the job system where each character has a set role and all the abilities needed to fulfill that role, like Final Fantasy IX, where you can never have Zidane casting black magic as well as Vivi can? Or do you prefer a game where you can make the characters into any sort of character you want, like Final Fantasy XII, where you can buy any license you want for every single character, giving each one all the abilities and basically ending up with half a dozen powerful carbon copy characters? I prefer the job system myself. Even in games where you can teach all the abilities to all the characters, like in FF10 after the character breaks out of their section in the sphere grid, I never teach them an ability that belongs to another character. I'm okay with raising all their stats, but I like the characters to keep their jobs, especially with Final Fantasy X, where it's so easy.
That's an interesting way to go about that.
It is, where it's so easy to switch in any character you need. I don't need all my characters to know black magic or white magic, because Lulu and Yuna are just a button press away in just about any battle. How do you feel about that, Joe?
Did she just ask me, or was that
that was me asking you. She asked us.
That's a very specific question, Light Sage. I don't know why you don't want Caleb to answer, but no.
Yeah. Something wrong with me.
Yeah. This is a rough one, because I do love the job system from Final Fantasy V. It's really the game that really... Unfortunately, the games where you can do everything are the games that I don't like as much. But I'm not sure if it has anything to do with that.
Well, 10 you can do everything.
In particular, you can do everything in 10, but she's right. You start out in a certain area, and you can use the key spheres to go to a different place if you wish. But yeah, I've just been leveling my characters. I haven't used a single key sphere yet. I've just been going through their own thing. I have to use one for Kimari because I reached the end of his run, but everybody else,
10-second run.
He has a tiny starting area. It's weird.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm gonna go ahead and say I like 10 system, where it's like a job class, but you can have the customization if you so desire.
Okay.
It's not like 12 and 8 where they're kind of, as she said, carbon copies of one another. At least they can be if you so choose to build the characters that way. They kind of just start off as a blank slate,
Yeah.
So,
well, they don't start off as a blank slate. They start off equipped with their specific jobs, and you can then make them whatever you want.
In 12?
Yeah, they don't.
Well, they have like
start
specific
with a
weapons,
sword.
but
yeah, but they're more they're better with those weapons.
it's less about black mage, white mage, and all that other stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Everyone can get the spells,
right?
Which is kind of nice,
and everyone could get every weapon too.
Yeah, you can.
So
I actually have 2 copies of the best gun in that game.
Do you really?
Yeah, I found them. They just got dropped randomly.
Nice.
A drop, and I was like, oh, that's the best gun in the game. That's weird.
Anyway, so yeah. I guess 12 there is a little differentiation, but there's like none in 8.
Yeah.
I mean, besides the weapons that the character uses and the limit breaks, their jobs, they don't really have jobs. You kind of arbitrarily pick one for whichever character you choose
To do a certain thing.
to do certain things.
Yeah. What about like with 4, where they
Everybody's
are
set.
very set, and that
Yeah.
is kind of their job, and you have to get weapons based on their job. I think that's kind of cool, and in its own way, and then you don't have to worry about all this shit.
In its own way, it's kind of cool. And I was about to say that there is a negative thing about everybody having their own job, and that's when the game decides that there needs to be more characters than you can put in a battle.
Yeah, that's true.
So certain characters and certain jobs get underleveled. And I would say in Final Fantasy X, my Kimari and my Riku are far behind every other character I have, just because they're not as useful. And I kind of don't like the way that the game is set up that way, where you just always have there's 4 more guys you can pick from, not just the 3 that you have on your battlefield. And that, certain enemies that are weak to certain characters, like, heavy armor guys for Auron or like the flying guys for Waka, they show up more often than characters made specifically for Kimari or for Riku do.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous. Or for Yuna. It's like Yuna, I mean, unless there's a guy that you really don't want to come across, Yuna's kind of useless.
Yeah,
except for
well,
healing.
and protect. So if it's a rough battle,
She's
you
good
can
for
buff.
White Mage, but you only need her when you're having problems.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
It's like grinding is just an Auron Waka Titus fest.
It really is. That's how I end
Sometimes
up playing the game.
Lulu.
Yeah, I don't know. This time I've been trying to be a little more
Which
fair.
I feel is uneven. That's what I'm...
It is.
Yeah.
It is somewhat uneven. But this time I've been trying to include more of the others. Kimari I was really, really going for early on, but now I'm just like, yeah, fuck this. He does so little damage right now, and I'm like, I can't justify using you. 400 damage, really? Yeah, you've got armor pierce, but fuck that. So does Auron, and he's doing 8,000. So I don't know. I really do like 10 for that. I like having that option to break out of their norm, but I like that they have a norm to stick to, and that is what their character was designed to be. So
I think 5 is probably the perfect system for the job system.
where you can switch in and out,
Yeah.
and tailor abilities and
Any guy
include
that you want,
abilities.
but it's still a job system. But yeah, the guy, you just pick one.
Yeah,
So
so
you have them level up into certain jobs.
you think 5 is the ultimate RPG?
5 is the ultimate job
Character.
system for the Final Fantasy games.
Okay.
What I liked about 4, in which 10 is kind of trying to do, I like that in 4, all your characters, all the playable characters are on your freaking screen, so that everybody gets leveled up. So there's no uneven kind of character buildup. With 4, there were certain parts of the game where like the 5th character was some optional guy that comes in and out.
Yeah.
And that was perfect for whatever he came by. But then when you finally get Edge, it's like the 5 guys. And they're going to fight who they need to fight. And they have their specific jobs. That's the system. If you're going to do a system where they're stuck into a character class, then
Make it 4.
I'd rather have it be like 4, where every single character you have is on the screen.
Right, and you level up their abilities.
It's about the leveling up. It's about the leveling up evenly.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
And you get their abilities only for them, and that kind of makes them worth leveling up, worth making sure that they're in the party. So, I don't know, they're all really cool. It's like, no matter which one it is, it's going to be entertaining as far as the game goes. But yeah, I still do think I like 10s most, just because I like the options available, while also sticking to what the game intended me to do.
All right, so we got one more question. We went through it where this is the last question asked in February. That's what we were trying to do today. Do all the February questions. Okay. This is from Batman. Have you guys ever played an FF game that glitches on you? And if so, what were the consequences, if any? I remember a playthrough of FF 3 or 6 on the Super NES. I had saved the game just before you go onto the floating continent to get into the airship battle with Ultros and Sky Fortress enemy. That was a pain in the butt for me. When I loaded the game and got into my first battle on the airship bridge, I noticed that all of my characters were equipped with the scimitar as their weapon. I did not have a single scimitar in my inventory going into the battle. As far as I'm aware, you can't get them until much later in the game. I just rolled with it because they were super powerful swords and have a chance to insta-kill enemies. But I soon found that I couldn't change any of my equipment, including magicite or relics. I ended up having to start the game over because I only had one save file, and I ran into the same issue after reloading. Any glitches, Caleb?
I feel like there was one game where I got stuck behind something, and I could not move out.
I got stuck behind something in 7.
I think that might have been what I'm remembering.
Are you remembering me getting stuck?
I think I got stuck on that one time also, where it's you go behind some guy or something like that,
Yeah.
and you can't move out of
There's
there.
the house where you're about to go snowboarding down. I walked past some object.
yeah,
It was
yeah.
like the snowboard or something. Couldn't get out. Couldn't get out of the freaking house. I was stuck behind the snowboard and this kid.
Yeah.
It was stupid. I don't know how I even walked into there. And then you were in the room and you were like, what?
Yeah, I remember that now.
Okay.
It was you.
Because it was ridiculous. I couldn't move.
Yeah.
I don't know how I got in and couldn't get out.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Maybe you pulled out the Crisco and just
Smear it on the screen.
yeah. Watch out, kid. No, it's retarded. You're like, hey, if this is a real life situation, I'd be like, get the fuck out of the way. And the kid would move,
I'd step over the snowboard.
Yeah, or you pick the child up, put him on the bed there, and then walk past. It's how can you expect me to believe this is reality? No, there was that, and then we've both broken the game.
Yes.
In
6.
In 6, yeah. 6 is a glitch fest, to be honest.
6 is a glitch fest.
I love it.
There's a word on that same forum post, but yeah.
I broke 6 a few times where I would try to do the Vanish Doom thing, and the
Vanish
game was
Doom.
it freaks.
Vanish
so.
Doom glitched out a lot. My PS2 was having problems reading Final Fantasy 2, and so sometimes the graphics would freak out. I think it had the same problem with 4 or 5 also.
I had some issues with I think it was 4. When I would try to load my game up, it would have this retarded super morph
the PlayStation version of those games.
Lazy ports, lazy
A
bastards.
little bit glitchy. Yeah, the Vanish Doom glitch is the most useful thing on the freaking planet if you want to get rid of those 8 dragons.
Yeah, and if you want to get a free blowjob.
Yeah.
It's that too. But I don't know. Other than that, though, I've never
our older works in order to understand that reference.
Yeah, it's a good one. But I have never run anything like this where my equipment has gone crazy.
No, nor have I.
I think there might have been one time where the weapons didn't load into a fight, so I wasn't holding anything, but I was still doing damage.
Yeah.
And there's the glitch in 10 where, and I'm seeing this, guys. I know it's real now. The HD version of 10 where it takes forever for shit to load into the battle. It's like, dun, 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 and it's just this empty screen. I'm like, what the fuck?
I have not seen that.
And then my guys show up, and they're kind of doing their little dance thing, and then the enemies just show up out of nowhere. It's really annoying, and I'm super worried every time it happens. But
I was trying to think of another glitch, and I lost it.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. But yeah, that Vanish Doom thing is sweet. Oh yeah, if you don't get Shadow, after Kefka splits the world or whatever, you don't wait for him, then you have to get Ren instead. And if you don't walk on a very specific square in a very specific town, the cutscene will not happen when you walk into another town. And so you have to go back, stay on the path. If you see grass, if you leave the grass area of the town before you have to go get Ren, you're not going to hit whatever cube of code you need to hit in order for the next event to happen in the next town. I remember that pissing me off, and that was probably in our 6th review. But
That's ridiculous, huh?
yeah, that was the one glitch that I was like, what?
Do you remember the thing in 7 that you showed me when you did your cheap ass speed run a few years ago, and we had that little Tucanos contest?
No.
In the tunnel after you fight Hojo.
Oh, yeah.
There's a very specific path you can walk, and you don't run into the Turk battle down there. You just walk right past it.
Yep. Walk right past it.
And it's amazing, because that battle, if you're going quickly through that game, is bullshit.
Yeah, if you go through the center path, you hit the column, and then you take one square to the right, down, behind the column, and then go forward.
Yeah, you sneak past
You'll skip right past that event.
So we've only had awesome glitches, except for Joe's snowboard glitch.
Yeah.
Which was BS. But thankfully, 7's pretty easygoing as far as saves go.
Yeah.
The world map.
I don't really know of any glitches. There's probably a million really good glitches, though.
I know there's some dumb stuff in Blitzball where, like, I'll be right next to the goal, I'll kick it, and then it'll do the animation from, like, 30 feet away. The ball.
That's not really a glitch, though.
It's more like
That's
laziness.
just the animation, yeah.
I see why they did it,
I hate
though.
Blitzball, dude. Hate it.
How does it make you feel when I'm over there rocking?
It makes me hurt inside.
I'll show you how. Actually, you might not even want to play it at all.
No.
If you don't want
I'm not going
to.
That's the one thing that's stopping me from going, yeah, I'll platinum the game.
Is the Blitzball.
It's 100 games of Blitzball? Are you fucking nuts?
Well, once you get leveled up enough, you basically steamroll over everybody.
They're 10 minutes of fucking boredom. Every fucking Blitzball game. It's not even really 10 minutes because the freaking clock stops every time you have to make a decision.
Yeah, that's true. Just be fast. Just know what you're going to do.
Fuck, dude.
It's like a weird RPG sports game.
It's horrible.
I think it's all right. I don't enjoy it necessarily, but it's kind of cool learning new abilities and destroying people, seeing how many goals I can get in one game. And outrunning the entire opponent's team and just punching it in right in front of the goalie. Satisfying.
Yeah, I hate it. I hate that game. Hate that game more than anything. I think it's the worst.
Would you rather play Super Dunk in 7?
I would rather play Super Dunk.
Nice. Well, that's unfortunate about the Blitzball. I guess. I don't know. It's kind of cool. It adds kind of a sports element to it. I got to go out and find free agents if I want new members. I never do. I just spam my guys up to the point where they're untouchable.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I could do like half court shots and no one can block it.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Yeah.
How about you just build up my game to that? And I'll
and then you'll just destroy it.
Yeah.
Well, the problem then would be I would have to play like 250 or so games of Blitzball. And I don't know if I'm willing to do that much, but yeah.
Do you like Blitzball?
I think it's okay. I don't think it's the worst.
Do you think it's 100 games worth?
I think I'm gonna try.
You like it more than Triple Triad?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
I do, yeah.
Oh, dude. No.
I hate Triple Triad.
No. Blitzball just, I
like Nine's card game more than
Blitzball
Eight's.
can suck a dick. Easily. Blitzball can choke on mine.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't know if it would. So yeah, glitches, good stuff.
Glitches.
Haven't had too many of them, but
all right. So I think that's going to end it for this episode. Make sure you guys support us on Patreon. At the $75 mark, we're going to have listener call-ins, probably through Skype, or some other telephone service where you can leave messages and ask questions via the telephone line. So make sure you guys just give us $1 a month. You get the episodes a day early. Also, we might be giving a special episode to Patreon listeners only at some point. Who
yeah,
knows?
we've been looking into that. So
Yeah, we've been thinking about that.
keep that in mind.
Yeah. Make sure you go join our forums, join the conversation, ultimatefinalfantasy.boards.net. And we got a couple new podcasts that me and Caleb are hosting.
Getting Fat with Caleb and Joe.
Getting Fat, PHAT with Caleb and Joe. So just search Fat, PHAT.
You should find it, yeah.
And then the Pseudo Intellectuals Book Club. We're either like the 20th for book club in iTunes.
Or the first for Pseudo
Or
Intellectual.
if you search pseudo-intellectual. Some people spell pseudo-intellectual as one word, but most people spell it with the dash. So we use the dash. Pseudo-intellectuals Book Club.
Yep, we're up to 1 review on that, but soon.
Well, we got a review on that?
No, 1 book review.
Oh, 1 book review. Yeah, it's once a month.
Yeah,
it's a
so
whole
it's
book.
gonna be a while
Yeah.
before you guys get a lot of content.
Yeah. So make sure you subscribe to those. We're reading Tagana for our book in Pseudo
Reading.
book club. I'm listening to it on audiobook.
I haven't touched it, so.
Way to go.
Yep.
I'm like a third of the way through it now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's promising.
Yeah. There's a lot of sex.
Oh, nice.
It's pretty nice.
I like
well,
sex.
there's one sex scene, but it refers to it a lot.
Oh, sweet.
It got pretty steamy. Like I was in the car and I was hearing it and I was like, oh my goodness. It's like I started breathing a little heavy, got flushed, you know.
Yeah. Wow.
I was like, yeah, this is getting nice.
I like this.
Yeah. All right, guys. We'll see you next week. This has been another production of Ultima Final Fantasy, the Ultimate Final Fantasy Podcast. The show was produced by Joseph DeGollier and Caleb Schweiss, with music and editing by Joseph DeGollier, parodies and clips from their respective authors, of course. You can get all of our episodes as well as our Let's Plays at ultimafinalfantasy.com. You can also contact us on Twitter at UFF Podcast, as well as our contact page on our website. Be sure to subscribe and review our podcast. Your reviews may get read on the show, and look forward to the next episode of Ultima Final Fantasy, the Ultimate Final Fantasy Podcast.